So you need to be treading a fair path at the moment. And I think that you believe that you are, but there's also that sense of you going, it could go either way. Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now, this is a general reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, whatever area of your chart you're wanting to have a look at. And if you're not familiar with your chart, there is a link in the description down below to get yourself a free birth chart so you can learn what your rising sign is. That's really important, moon sign, etc. Now, in the description below, there's all details about the reading as well, but briefly, it's a general reading rules apply. So timing is never absolute with tarot in the first place. Roles here can be reversed, and I am seeing the presence of other people or roles you are taking on board. Haven't figured out, well, I've sort of figured out which is which, but we'll see what the clarification cards say. Where these readings are different is they either are for you or they're not in total, because there is a past and a present on this spread, and if the past and present don't fit, it's not for you. If they fit, then the spread is one that, well, it's not so defined. You know, it's talking about choices and options. But listen to the lot. It's not one of those things where you take what resonates and leave the rest. It's going plop here. Think about this. You know. So what's the other thing? Oh yes, ask a question. So what I'd like you to do before the reading is pause the video if you have to and ask a question of the reading. So be aware of all the questions that are around you and focus on one of them. I won't guarantee that that one is the one that the cards will answer, because they have a stranger sense of priority than what we do. But the act of focus should give energy to the reading so that you give something back. That's the get something back. Sorry, that's the idea. Yeah, that's it. Other than down there, there is a link to a Facebook group as well for this channel. I post these videos, obviously, but also all the astrology videos that I watch and a few other things ever so often as well. So come and join. There's an inbox there, so you can contact me directly if you're interested in a personal reading as well. But there's also in the description, there's like Twitter and Tumblr, well, Twitter details as well. Having said that, I think that's my housekeeping done. So let's bring up the cards. And I think you will be pleased to know your fortunes are changing. Now, there's that's how you feel at the moment. Yeah, the fortunes need to change and it could go either way. We have the Wheel of Fortune as the main card of how you are feeling, clarified by Temperance. It's time to do something. I'm not surprised. I'll get to this in a moment. And there is that sense of a new beginning within you, and rightly so. You are definitely bringing new energy down into the real world. What's signifying you at the moment is the King of Pentacles. So grounded, making progress, making real world progress, following, trying to follow a fair path, which has involved taking on a burden. But this new burden, I imagine, is a lot easier than what you've just been through. Just to, if you know your cards, then we've gone from the Tower to the Nine of Swords to the Three of Swords, polished off by the Five of Pentacles. So if you know your cards, yes, you know exactly what I'm saying. But the Tower, everything was shattering. Everything was falling down around you, and it caused you nothing but nightmares and pain. There was an immense amount of stress, and you were hurting from everything that was going on. And it's left you recently feeling vulnerable, feeling... I don't want to use the word poverty. I am maybe tempted on the word lack, but what I'm really feeling is vulnerable. But it's almost like I feel like you've had that, because you've had such dark cards followed by such bright cards, King of Pentacles, King of Cups, Queen of Cups, so divine pairing there, but that's more to do with parts of you than you and somebody else, I think. Leading on to the King of Wands. It's almost like you've had a dark night of the soul, you've had an initiation, you have been tested. And that's backed up by the Moonology Oracle deck that has told us that your commitment is being tested. Now, what's really important is that you must not lash out at the moment. Just whatever has gone on here, and I'll dig deeper into the cards in a moment, but whatever has gone on here, someone's hurt you. Events or person, something has hurt you, more than likely someone, possibly more than one person. But we have from the Le Carte Infernale, or Daemon Tarot, we have Andros, whose warning from Andros is about... Well, Andros used to sow discord. He would, if he was to be summoned by a magician and his assistant, he would try and put an emotional wedge between the two of you. But I think the book sums it up nicely, where it says, that's it, that was the phrase I couldn't remember, beware of cutting your nose off to spite your face, causing harm to others that only comes back to harm oneself. So I was reminded of that by this Justice card that's underlying your current actions, your current new beginning. I rather see these Tavaglione set as well as clarification. They are looking at the spiritual and mystical undertones of what's going on, and we have justice. So you need to be treading a fair path at the moment, and I think that you believe that you are, but there's also that sense of you going, it could go either way. And yes, to an outside observer, or certainly from your point of view at the moment, it could easily go either way. That is why you are being called to study all the ins and outs of the new situation around you. You are being guided to grab hold of opportunities and paths forward out of the, I don't want to say out of the situation that you're in, because I think you've come out of that situation, but how to have a healthy path forward, how to have a happy path forward. But there's obviously baggage, because the angel energies, 2 cards dropped out, and we had, firstly, and this is a really interesting pairing, we have the guardian angel of children. I honour the precious child within me. I nourish and cherish all new beginnings. So we've got that looking after yourself, the pampering yourself. We've got the fact that you are creating a new beginning, all summed up in this one angel card. However, it is paired with the guardian angel of maturity. As I take responsibility, I also develop my strength. Now, you are taking responsibility at the moment with this 10 of Wands. But those 2 cards coupled with Andros is also makes me think that it could be so easy to lash out. So easy. Because you've got a right. You know, if anybody has a right, you've got a right. It's not the right thing to do, but you would have a right to do it. You know, yeah, I can be all spiritual and holier than thou and turn the other cheek and all of that. But no, I would be annoyed at going through this sort of process at the hands of somebody else. We have the Tower was strength, right? Everything was challenging. You were in a position to assist somebody, which took a lot of strength on your side and a certain element of illusion on your part as to what was actually going on in the situation. But the person that you were trying to help, or the situation that you were trying to assist, was at mercy to forces beyond either your or their control. I mean, here, this is the TV tarot. I don't know if it's Teen Wolf or Buffy or what it's supposed to be, but basically we have the woman out of the strength card doing something with a werewolf. Not quite putting her hand in the werewolf's mouth, but that werewolf is at the mercy of the moon. And the moon can be that little bit deceptive, can make things appear just that little bit different to what they actually are. So this was a situation that brought you, oh heck, oh that's interesting. It brought you no end of stress and nightmares, but you were also happy with it. It was something where you were gaining recognition. So it's almost like you had known what this stress was going to be and dived straight into it. It did cause you loss, it did cause you sorrow, but it also caused you an immense happiness at the same time. And there was that forward motion towards something where you were achieving recognition. But, yeah, I have to ask, why was that recognition so important to you? Underneath we have 3 of Swords, 9 of Wands, 9 of Wands. That wounded warrior, that essence that you are almost there. But I'm suddenly reminded of the Trinity with that and think that there's needless repetition. You don't need a Trinity of Trinities. You know, you just need a Trinity. And this pain was underlying the situation. I have to ask, what was it you were trying to prove and to whom? Because if you were trying to prove something to yourself, i.e. by displaying some form of maturity or by nurturing your inner child and saying, look, this is okay, well, you've put the work in already. You know, you can relax a little. You have put that work in, but you've started a new beginning after all of that with King of Wands. So that's interesting. Because something that you have just recently set into motion has got a high chance of maturing, as long as you're following the conditions here. These cards here are a potential future, one to grab or one to avoid. So something that you've set into motion to manifest in your life, it's going to come around. King of Wands here, King of Wands here. I've yet to find out whether that's a good or a bad thing, but you felt it was a good thing. It was, you were getting that recognition. You were getting that sense of it's not that it's on the tip of my tongue. It's not that there must be more than this, because it's a new this that you're wanting more to, but there is an element of I want more, I want different, I want more, I want larger scope, I want something a little bit more practical than what I've had to go through recently. And but you haven't necessarily had the financial support to achieve this recently. Although I do feel that maybe there is a source of assistance that you have been ignoring, and possibly on purpose. And that's your choice. But bear in mind, Guardian Angel of Maturity, if there is a goal that you are aiming for, and somebody else has the one tool that you need to achieve this goal, then what you're going to do, make the tool out of newspaper or go and ask and borrow their tool? But I also want to say, from the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, we have Acharya. Acharya? Yeah, Acharya with patience. So this is a long-term process. And with this amount of pentacles here, yes, it's a long-term process, but it's going to get a little bit more woolly in the short term, because it is a dream that you are trying to pursue. Now, that element of happiness that you've had during all of this stress, I believe that you are taking this forward, or you are rooting that into your situation, into your life at the moment. Because it was, with these cards here, it is like, oh my God, stress and nightmare. But that's really making me happy, but stress and nightmare. So you can root that happiness into a more consistent presence into your life. And you're certainly being urged forward. We've got, these can underlie the situation. We've got the King of Cups, the big dream, the emotional resolution that has been pushing you and driving you to make changes in the material world. We've got the Ace of Wands showing that there is that pushing again. And Ten of Cups once more. So there's a dream that you are going to be taking into the real world, you know, on the basis of what you are achieving and what you have achieved already. But as someone's pointing out to you here, you have got to keep being fair. So wherever this source of stress was, there's no need to lash out. Tempting as it may be, you know. And I'm not saying that you should lash out, you should not lash out because it's wrong. I'm saying you should not lash out because it will come back and bite you in the backside. Which is what Andras is pretty much saying. Especially with all this, someone else is advising you exactly the same as what I've just been saying as well, as we have the Justice card in the influence of other people. But yeah, you're going to be standing on your own 2 feet for a little while with everything that you need, I have to say. From the 5 to the 9, that's a wonderful sense of going from 5 magic to 9 rebirth. There is a wonderful jump forward and explosion of energy, but it's self-reliant. You're going to be hurtling forward faster than what you actually expect. And for 1 minute, it's almost like this dream that you've had the emotional resolution and say, right, I'm going to change things. And now you're working out how that's going to translate into your day-to-day activity. And then all of a sudden, the penny drops and you declare, hey, everyone, I have a holy grail for me here. I'm not saying it's anybody else's holy grail. I don't think it is. It's your holy grail. But you get quite a lot of clarity coming, again, by being fair, by cutting out the nonsense, cutting out the, you know, guardian angel of children. Children can misbehave. You need to educate your inner child to not misbehave. However you need to do that, but you don't let it misbehave. Because you're very much, card number 9 again, so that rebirth is carrying on your own, with the Hermit, so seeking your own inner light. And this is bringing those spiritual aspects and more thought-based aspects, you know, dreams, ideas, plans into the real world, but again, on your own 2 feet. But you are going to be supported with this. There's the cup, right. So there is a harmony here. There's a divine pairing as you move forward from the emotional resolution that you have within to the idea that you are presenting to the world, which is doubly supported because Queen of Cups here. And like I said, mystical and spiritual significance. But this will be spiritual and mystical significance of you standing alone and doing this. But the world is starting to support you now. We have the World card here rather than, you know, this 5 of Pentacles, where maybe there was support, but if there was, you didn't see it. Now, we have the 6 of Cups here, which I'm thinking is a certain amount of this new pathway of yours is going to get challenged. There's no two ways about this. We have 6 of Cups, 4 of Cups, with what's his name off of Big Bang Theory? Spencer? No, can't remember. And 5 of Wands. Now, what I'm almost feeling is that someone's going to turn up and say, oi, try coming this way, try doing it this way, try doing this, how about joining in with this? This is what I have for you. And your reaction is, what? You know, I'm sorry, you lost me the moment you started speaking. I'm bored. And that's mean, but it's bored. This person, I don't think, is offering guidance whatsoever, because the path that they are offering is offering conflict. And if you are feeling mentally conflicted by it, that means it's time for you to go, oh, no, 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 not going down that road, not on your Nelly. Stick to your guns of what you've been doing on your own. And that, yeah, you're going to go through a hanged man time. If you look here, hanged man in the potential future. So there's going to be that feeling of, do I do this? Do I not do it? Do I do it? Do I not do it? Stick to your own guns. It's going to work out, and the material support will be there. 10 of Pentacles. Even though, that's interesting, you have to make a choice to commit to this new life that you are currently building for yourself. And you are currently building it. But like I say, there's a lot of cups here. It's still a lot of ideas that you are having to ground and to, right, this is where I want to be in a year's time or 3 months' time or even tomorrow. How are my actions right now getting me there? And half the time, I think you're going to be thinking, it sort of feels right, but is this the right way? Because everything feels different. But everything feels different for a good reason. We have Raziel, the angel of mysteries. We're not supposed to know everything. But there is, one of the other signs had this for this month, but in a completely different way. And this was using Yesod. But Raziel stands at the foot of the tree of life and records everything. And it's our breath that turns the pages of his book, but there's only him that gets to read it, unless someone is, like Enoch, taking the passageway up through the tree of life. So Raziel's mysteries are for him to know, not us. You know, it's not our job to know everything. It's our job to use the mystery and have the wisdom, Chokmah here, to take what is useful, and when something appears radically different, the two hanged men, we can go, okay then, what do I learn by this looking so different? And one thing that I want to say is not just the, oh my God, this is so different, but the also, look how far the definitions have moved. You used to look at this one thing one way, now you're looking at it this other way, and look at what a distance there is between those two viewpoints. And that doesn't mean that the distance has finished. So, you know, there's more to go. Let's have a look what you've learned in the past. Right. So in the past, you had made a commitment that ended up locking yourself into a situation of stress and anxiety. Devil card, 8 of Swords. And I'll clarify that Devil card in a moment, because I always do. But to get out of it, you had plenty of options, but I feel that to a great extent you withdrew into yourself, going, no, I need to rest, I need to heal. But I feel that there was a call to action at that time that you did not take. And that is a lesson that you, or an action that you have to be aware of doing right now. Yes, you should take the call to action to change things right now. Yes, you should. As long as it's not trying to lash out at somebody. That's the danger. The lashing out will come back and bite you on the backside. But rather than going, oh, no, I'm just going to stay here where I'm safe. You've done that already, and look what happened. Everything fell to bits. So now is the time to surge forward. And yeah, you're still looking within, but it's more of a dynamic, not that much more dynamic. We're going from a crypt and a funeral rest home to an old man walking down the path. But the point is, he is still walking. He is in motion. And he is active with the shining of the light and with the examination of the ground. I also feel like there may be some advice that comes to you from an older person that would be quite useful. You know, they may not even still be with us. It may be one of those phrases that have been passed down the family. Remember when your great-grandmother used to say this? You know, but now's the time to listen to one of those phrases and go, all right, yep, take that on board. Where are we? How other people are affecting things. Oh, somebody's wanting you to lash out and telling you how fair it is and that you need to assert your own dominance. You need to assert your own power. No, you don't. I mean, yes, you do, but not in that way. You need to assert your own dominance and power over your own life. And that's exactly what you're doing. You don't need to be lashing out at anybody just through a point of stubbornness and going, my territory. You've already moved your territory. You've already shifted them along so that they're not in your territory anymore. So you don't need to do anything more to them. Problem solved. But you are worried that you're moving ahead too quickly at the moment and not necessarily listening to the wisdom that is being given to you. Now, despite that patience card, considering how slow that you were in the past, no, you are not moving too quickly. You are moving at exactly the right speed because you are being pushed now by spirit and by your own inner dreams. And moving forward is the way to be doing it. Right, look, Ace of Wands. So again, that new beginning, new drive forward, very masculine driving energy to push forward with something that you've been working on for a while, and you will keep working on it and you will be damn good at it. And all of a sudden there's no Three of Pentacles over here because you don't need it. That issue is solved. Whatever that recognition was that you needed for yourself, you've had it, you've absorbed it, you've integrated it, you're moving on. It's not relevant anymore. And Chariot card, so again, moving forward. So yes, there's definitely a moving forward theme going on in the final outcome cards here. That's it. That's everything. So yeah, this new beginning that you're doing, you are coming out of the other side of the dark night of the soul, or the trial and tribulation, the initiation, because there's three ways that you can look at what I was saying there. I mean, if this is a job reading, then I assume you've walked out anyway before anybody tried to lash out and fire you. And someone else is saying, yeah, but you want to tell the boss that that person was the one that was responsible for all this, this and this and this. And no, it's not any of your business anymore. Who gives a hoot? You know, I think that is the healthy attitude for you at the moment by the looks of it. The whole, who gives a hoot? Not my problem. That's very love and light of me, isn't it? So the message I want you to take from this reading is not my problem. And all the rest of it, obviously. Right, so if this means anything to you, Aquarius, comment down below. I'd be very interested to hear what all this is about, because looks like you've had it rough and now you've got a chance to shine. It's going to be hard work, but like I say, you've got that 10 of Cups underlying everything that you're doing at the moment. You can take the best bits out of the old experience and turn them into something glorious that is more sustaining for you, even though things are going to get confusing. But so what? Have a whale of a time being confused. All right? Cheers.